I'm going to show you how to do the 8 wrap on the long Knifty Knitter looms. You can't do the 8 wrap on the round looms because as you wrap you go back and forth across the loom, and of course you can't do that on a round loom. You have to use the long looms. So you begin by securing the yarn to your anchor peg here on the side. When we do the 8 wrap, we're not going to use this peg on the end. You wrap, basically making an E around that first peg, with the top of the E always facing the outside and the crisscross always on the inside of the loom. And you do that on the other side, and you just keep doing that back and forth across the loom. As you can see, it makes a figure 8 pattern on the loom. You can do this using just a single yarn, or you can do it using 2 yarns as if they're one. Today I'm just using 1 yarn. Now when you get to the end, you're going to go only one time around that last peg, okay? Now what you want to do is go ahead and wrap your yarn as if you're tracing it back across the loom. You wrap it in a way that it goes in the exact pattern that it did the last time you went across the loom. So just keep tracing the yarn exactly as it was before across the loom. You can see how my rows match up perfectly. You can hardly tell there's 2 yarns there. And you just go around this peg one time, okay? So I'm going to continue back across. Oops. I always keep my thumb here to hold it, so if that happens and the yarn slips, I don't lose too much of my work. Okay. And I have reached the end. I've wrapped all my pegs 2 times. Okay, I'm just going to wrap that around the anchor peg to hold it in place. And then I'm going to knit off the way you typically do, bringing the bottom loop over the top loop on each peg. And you just keep doing that as you work your way across the loom. I like to push them down once in a while to keep the loops from slipping off. When you're finished with this side, you want to go ahead and just turn the loom around, and then you knit off on the other side, pulling each of the bottom loops up and over. Until you're finished with the entire row.